Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, I thought it'd be nice just to go and talk for you guys through the kind of things I'm AFKing at the minute for resources. Now, the only reason I'm sort of doing this video is because I've just done another one of the AFK money making videos, and I kind of sat in for, I don't really show you guys what I actually do in my AFK time. Now at the minute, one of my main focuses is 200mm woodcutting. You would have seen from my content video, that's what I've been doing actively. But there have been free resources I've quite enjoyed stacking up, getting ready for the double XPs coming up, as well as sort of giving me the option to use these methods to go to 200mm. Now these methods are going to be some of the brand new skilling methods which have been released over the past year, past level 99 in the free skills we're going to look at, which gives you the ability of having like decent XP while also highly AFK, which is why I can kind of do these on the side sometimes, but they give me two really good options. So I can either go and make these items to tier 5 or mark 5 or whatever sort of the highest tier that item is, and then sell it for a massive profit, because converting it, in this case a short bow, to mark 5, you can then convert that into extra XP. So people pay the premium for the mark 5, or I can then turn it into mark 5 myself and then go and then turn it in for extra XP for some more. So those are the reasons why I enjoy these methods, is because it gives me the option of either XP or an incredible amount of cash as well. Some of these which you're going to go through can make you some big profits. Some of them are just massively AFK, but can also cost you a little bit of cash while making something as well. So hopefully it will sort of show you guys what I'm doing anyway, because I think like I do so many money making methods. I want to show you guys what actually works for me and what I do and how I can also do a little bit of AFK as well. But what I'm really interested in as well, if you guys drop in the comments, what do you do in your spare time? What resources do you stock up ready for a double XP? I'm just simply doing this because it's a really good way for me to do something productive while playing the other accounts, while doing some editing. It gives me the option to convert these items into even more XP on a double XP as well, or I can just sell them and make some cash. It's one of these methods where you can sort of win either way, because they can give you those two sides of a coin. You can either get the XP or you can make some profit, and I really like this is how they've approached these sort of skilling methods after level 99. It just means that there's such a good way to go and train as well. But if you've got anything different to what I do, drop in the comment section down below. Let's get a bit of discussion going. And who knows, I might check them out for a future money making video and then drop you guys in the video to say thank you for it. So yeah, this is going to be the first one. Obviously, Eternal Fletching we've done videos on before. This is just so chill, and even though the bow price is a little bit lower than the other things we're going to have a look at, I still think it's worthwhile the time. Fletching can be very, very pricey if you go in for quicker methods. For me, I've always sort of preferred to do Fletching and AFK way. 120 Fletching for me was done with Dino Arrows, just because it gave me the ability not to have to pay too much attention. But if you're looking to do things with like dart tips or higher tier Fletching stuff, you're going to pay a decent chunk of cash. But to be fair, nowadays Fletching really is one of the few pure buyables left. If you really want to do it very, very quickly, Fletching is one of those which is just a pure buyable. Things like crafting and herbal now, you kind of make cash from it. So Fletching is one of those where this method for me, I don't have to pay attention for it. I have an activity bar as well, which is really nice because it lets me know when I can AFK to and when I need to go and click again. And it's really chill. Now, the price of the magic logs unfortunately have gone up a lot because they're going to be using 120 construction, but still you're going to have a massive profit margin from doing this. On the lead up to the double XP, the bows will normally sell around 900k-ish. Maybe you get more, maybe you get less. It kind of depends on what is happening before the double XP, after the double XP in terms of updates. That can sort of influence which skills people go after. You're going to roughly make about 600k profit, which for just simply fletching like this, where I'm not really paying attention to, and it would have been time before where I would have just been sat at a grand exchange, very much worthwhile. So this is something I do in sort of phases. Like I'll go and fletch like 200 bows at once, and then I won't do it for another week or two. But it's always nice that I've got the eternal magical logs in my bank. I always have the option for it, and I really can't see myself for at least 200mm fletching doing anything other than this method. Now fletching's been updated, nothing really drastically is going to change in the skill, so I'm not in a rush to train it. And doing it with this method, I can go and make as much GP as possible with this AFK method without having to pay too much attention to it. So big fan of this. Really a big fan of how Jagex has sort of handled most of the skills, which they've updated to like 120. They've done it in a really, really good manner, and I do enjoy most of it as well. Okay, so the next method is something I hadn't really properly gave time to. 120 crafting was probably released about a year ago. I only completed my first set of starbloom armor probably about 2-3 weeks ago when I was doing the video. I can't remember why I was doing it. I think I was looking at doing masterwork and I needed to do something with starbloom. I don't know, but basically there was a reason why I was doing it. I think it was probably for the comp requirement. And I realized like this is a great way to train crafting. Like you basically set up the items in your inventory, you can make as many as you want, and then you kind of just sit in AFK. Yes, you can get more XP and process the items quicker if you pay more attention to it. But this was like my first experience of doing it, and it was actually really, really nice. So what my plan is for the future is to basically make a couple of sets. So crafting for me is one of those which is quite expensive, and I do think it's going to be one of those sort of skills that I'm going to spend the GP on. But if I was to go and make multiple sets of this up to like a +4, then on a double XP, when I decide to go and turn all those +4s into +5s, I can then go and convert that +5 set into the XP and get the most value from the armor sets. But also while I'm training it from a base all the way up to a +4, you're getting the XP for that as well, while also being highly AFK. Very similar to like all three methods. The point of it is that in my downtime, I train all the items from a base all the way up to a +4. And then during a double XP, that's when you go and train it from that +4 to a +5 and then convert it for the XP as well. Now you can also decide that once you get it to that +5, you can sell it on the Grand Exchange. For me, I think because I've gone and made them myself, I can then convert them into the extra XP because I've bought it at the base cost. All I've really sort of wasted is some AFK time, but I've gained XP during it as well, if that makes sense. So even though like I've wasted my time in terms of turning the base materials into the +4 sets, I've still got XP for it. So yes, it might not be the most optimum XP in the world, but all these methods I'm looking at are AFK. And because of that, that's why I kind of see it worth it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think like these methods are worthwhile your time? Or would you just go and do a +4, buy it on the Grand Exchange and then convert it from there as well? I do think that these are such good sort of scaling methods. And I'm going to repeat that multiple times because I really, really do think so. Where you have the ability to convert it into XP and GP. Let me know which one you'd pick. Are you someone who would use these methods to go and take the profit from and sort of accept that the XP you're going to get from a base all the way up to a +4 is going to be how you're going to AFK them? Or are you someone who would basically do it from base all the way to a +5 and then convert that +5 into the extra XP? Because I'm a bit in the middle. I think sometimes it depends like when it is, but I think when you have an offer of a double XP, it really does get the most value out of these items and definitely something you can look at doing as well. But this has been something I've been AFKing more and more. So what I technically do now is just do a full inventory of like a certain part. So in this case, I'll do multiple hats. And then simply once they're made, I'll move on to the next bit and next bit. And then once I've got a decent amount of sets, that's when I'll start sort of like working my way through it as well. But the only thing with the starbloom is that the starbloom cloth is a little bit on the pricey side. It's one of those items really which has been released for a while now and still hasn't crashed significantly. Although what they did a really good job of, because you can only do it through farming, is that the wave of flowers coming to the game are very limited. They can't come into the game in massive bulk, which is probably why they've kind of kept the price so well. And starbloom cloth at the minute, looking at the price, is 45k, which is down from where it used to be. It used to be sort of quite comfortable at 60,000 coins each, but it could definitely go down a little bit more. And I think if it did go sort of down to that 30,000 coin mark, I would literally just go and buy enough for 200 mil crafting. And this would pretty much be what I'd do. So yes, while you're doing this, you do have the chance of like doing the miscuts and you do have to go to the table and redraft them. But once it sort of hits that point where you've done too many miscuts, it becomes to something which is at 50% rate. Which, don't get me wrong, is not ideal, but if you're someone who wants a full 15 minutes AFK where you're not paying attention to the screen, this could be something you could do as well. So yes, it's not the most optimal way to do it, but this is just something I do as a way to train my crafting and also to be very, very AFK doing it. So the final method, it might not come as a surprise what this method is going to be, will be using my Wicked Hood to go and train up these imbued weapons. So with the Eternal Magical Crafting, not only do you have the ability to go and make bows, you can also go and make staffs. Now, the staffs do sell for enormous profit. When I was doing them just before the last double XP, I was selling them for around 5 mil each. And for the amount of raw cost of just simply like a couple of hundred or maybe a couple of thousand, I forgot how much it was, pure essence per staff, you just make so much profit. And the rune crafting as well, it's decent XP for training and you just make so much profit from it as well. Like if I was doing rune crafting again, I did most of my rune crafting with protein essence or through runespan, I would 100% from 104 is simply use this as a way to make some money. It really is a way like you do have this bar. Again, once you've got pouches in the optimum setup, you can go and do this for longer than what's going to take me to do this inventory, but it's not like too intense of a method where you're having to run back and forth to the bank all the time, especially because I've got the Wicked Hood as well, and I've got a couple of those Wicked Hood teleports. This is how I'm going to be using my Wicked Hood teleports, because all I need to pay attention for is when it's time to bank, I go to war, I reset my presets, my familiar, my outfit, my inventory, it's all back into having full amounts of pure essence. And then I simply teleport back, do one click, and then that's me AFKing again. So yes, it's a bit bad that I don't have runecrafting XP to gather, but the reason why I do this is really more profit than anything. I do like having a couple sort of stacks in the bank, just in case like there's something which happens with runecrafting, a double XP is announced, I can sell and cash in and make some more cash from it. But it's a very, very good method, and I've not done loads of videos on these 3 methods, but they very much are decent, and I do them quite often to make some money. Sometimes I'll just hoard all the items, sometimes I'll sell them instantly. It just depends where I'm currently at in terms of the game and what I'm thinking is going to come in the future. But in terms of those methods, the only other ones I AFK on the main account will be something I'm actively training. So I'm also actively training woodcutting, so I'm nearly 200 mil. The only other thing I would do for AFK for a little bit of cash on the side might be archaeology, if there's a demand on a certain like dig site, whether it's materials, or if I just want to go and do some tetra hunting, I might also do that as well. However, those are my AFK methods at the minute. These are the resources I'm stacking up on. All the items I produce from these methods, I sort of leave in my bank, waiting for the most optimum time to sell them and hopefully make money from them. But when the next double XP is announced, hopefully I can show you guys the amount of sort of resources I've racked up since, and I can throw them on a Grand Exchange and show you guys just how much profit I've made from them as well. But really interested, do you guys do this too, or is it really just me? But I want to say, you guys, thank you for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in those comment section down below, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.